So I used to use this. But now this is my only fan.
Liar.
Whatever. These are my only fans.
You think you understand me. You think you have an inside point of view. You think that you command me. You think I'm gonna hate to break it to you.
Welcome back to the channel. Now, I am going to be showing you these two super cool fans from Nitecore. You've probably seen this type of stuff all over Instagram, and do these things actually work? Now, I'm not just going to make this a very boring review. I'm going to show you a pretty cool way that we use this in the studio to make a pretty cool epic shot like this. Let's start with this guy. This is the Nitecore CW20. This is essentially replacing this for a lot of creators. Now, this does come with a pretty cool case as well. Now, in the case, you do get a separate attachment. Now, that attachment is merely to change the direction of the airflow, kind of just change the trajectory of it. But they are pretty powerful. This is used to dust off your sensor or your lens, or if you are filming somewhere and you just want to blow your entire rig off. Sometimes your monitor gets a ton of dust, and I hate wiping a monitor when it's full of dust. It's much easier to just take this and just blow everything off. It charges pretty quick via the USB-C port on the bottom. It has 4 little lights on the back that indicate your battery power. It does have a little wheel that is pretty tough to turn, and it's really, really nice. You can feel it's very expensive. Now, that wheel is there to be turned very, very tough, so that if you are using it at a very low power for whatever reason, you're not going to stick it into the bag and pick it up and push the button and it's on full power. Now, on the front is the power button to switch the power on. But if you double tap it slowly, it turns it on, so you don't have to hold the button. So if you are handing this off to someone, or you need constant power and you don't want to have to hold it, you can just and a single tap switches it off again. I use this thing literally for everything. It's always in my bag. Long day of shooting, you blow this in your shoes, feels absolute heaven to cool your sweaty feet off. Might sound gross, it's a reality if you're a photographer or videographer shooting long events or weddings. Hot day, you take this and you put it over here, up your sleeve. What a feeling, having that like cold air just rush through. Feels amazing. Stick it in your cap. Pure bliss. Now, other than from the photography side of things, I use this as a guy permanently. When I'm washing my bike and I've cleaned my motocross bike and I'm trying to blow the water out of the engine and the plastics and the bolts, I use this and you just blow it off and everything just disappears. Got a bunch of dust in your car somewhere, or someone has, maybe the kids have messed something and you want to blow it out, just blow it out. This thing literally gets used everywhere, even the office. You want to blow off your computer, the dust around your table, or you just want to blow off something before you wipe it down. This is the thing. I use this thing so much, it's ridiculous. Now, if you want the specs, here are the specs. Pretty much don't care about specs. Battery life lasts pretty long. I mean, if you're going to charge this fully up, it charges pretty quick. Probably in like, I don't know, an hour or two, it's fully charged if you got a good 18-watt charger. And if you put this in your bag as a videographer or photographer, you maybe have to charge it once or twice a month if you're using it for your general stuff. Obviously, if you're using it at home or in the studio, and the studio gets a bit dusty every now and then, you know, soft boxes, and we blow them off, and you're going to be using it a lot, obviously then the battery drains a bit quicker, but it's pretty easy to tell. So as soon as you power it on and you see those 4 dots, you pretty much know when to charge it. I've never run out of battery while I'm somewhere on a job. It's pretty easy to come home and just plug it on charge once in a blue moon, and you've always got power. As for how strong it is, it's ridiculously strong. It's extremely impossible for me to show you how strong it is, but I don't know, these things are quite... Can't blow it over, right? See if we can move this. MPF battery, 970, 8,600 milliamp hours. This thing is potent. Now you can take the nozzle off the front and just use it like that. It does have a metal fan in the back, so you can hear it's metal. You can hear it kind of ring. Built like a tank, super tough. I've dropped it, still works. Love this. Now on Amazon or AliExpress, this is like $60 or $80. So for its price, it's really, really good. But you know what's cheaper than $80? A Soundstripe subscription. Yes, Soundstripe is the sponsor of today's video. I've been using Soundstripe for over 6, 7, I don't know how many years. But if you do use their pro plan, it allows me to even monetize my videos like this, so I can earn money on YouTube without getting copyright strikes. Not just that, but licensed music on their pro plan allows me to give my clients licensed music so they can even use it on paid adverts or commercial use, making it absolutely hassle-free, and I don't have to worry about any copyright headaches. Have you ever used stems? If not, it will change your life. Music Stems allows you to download a song and have the bass, the guitar, the drums, the synths, vocals, everything in a separate track on its own. So if you don't like the trumpet that's blasting through that song, you can just take it away or mute it or lower the volume, anything that you want. Maybe you want the drums to come in at a different point. It's what I do to customize all my tracks so that they sound customized to my videos, making it sound better, and I enjoy it. Okay, it's a little bit more work working with stems, but the results are perfect. And Soundstripe has the best stems. So if you do want to check out Soundstripe, I'll leave a link in the description, or you can head over to www.soundstripe.com/rich and they will hook you up. Now moving on from Soundstripe and this little guy, we get to this guy, the bigger guy. Now, it's pretty hard to say which one's more powerful because the amount of air is different. This is more directional. This is the CineWind CW30, and it does take 2 NPF batteries. Now you do have to use 2 NPF batteries. It will not work with one. Now turning it on is a double tap with a long press on the power button on the back, and the 2 little buttons on the front allow you to check the status of the battery on the NPF on the left as well as the NPF on the right separately. It does have rubber feet, so you can stand it down, and it's got a cheese plate on the top that allows you to connect a top handle. Now, Nitecore did send me this top handle separately, so you can buy this separately or you can use your own top handle. This one's got RE locating pins, and I would say a top handle is a must. So if you do have your own one or you want to buy Nitecore's one, it is pretty cool. This one actually rotates a little bit too, so it's got like a lock that you can tighten on the top here, and you can just hold it and point it or give it to an assistant. Unfortunately, it's got a 3/8 screw on the bottom, which is a bit of a pain for me because I don't have a lot of 3/8 adapters. It's a large tripods and things like that, but I did have a 3/8 to 1/4 screw adapter. So I've put my adapter in there. I found it in one of my trays over here, and now I can just connect this on top of a light stand or a bracket head and just point it to my subject or the model. This little guy also has a 1/4 screw on the bottom, but it's something I've never used. Using something like this for a model, not ideal. It's way too directional, whereas this blasts out a chunk of air in a specific direction. Another bonus is it can be dismantled extremely easy, allowing you to get in there and clean the fan. So how powerful is this guy, you may be asking? Well, here's the specs, which I truly do not care about, but if you want to know how powerful it is, check this out. Now at full power, that's pretty powerful. The only difference is it's not directional like this. I would say they equally may be pushing out the same amount of air, possibly, just in a larger area. So if you are using this in the studio for a model's hair, or you're trying to blow a large piece of smoke, or you're trying to move smoke around in a room, this is definitely the way to go. Battery life on this is pretty tough to tell you, but if you do put it on power 1 and you're using a large NPF battery on both sides, Nitecore says you get about 136 hours out of it, which is more than you'd ever need. To be quite honest, I've used this in the studio quite a bit and on different little projects, and with 2 large NPFs on here, I've never run out of power within a day. I don't think there's any creative like you and I that does a job and doesn't charge the batteries for the next day. So if you have got 2 large NPF batteries, you're not going to run out of juice on the day of the project. So besides for just pointing this towards the model and blowing her hair back, I did promise that I'd show you something else that we did. So what we did using this and creating this epic background, we took a thin roll of foil and we hung it up and we pointed a Nanlite FC500C. Now the Nanlite FC500C is a full color RGB light. You do not need 500 watts of power. I can guarantee you that. We had it set at very, very low power, but the goal is to have some form of directional reflector onto your rear kicker light. That allows you to point it to the foil and let that bounce back onto the background. Then what we did was we put this on a light stand and put it in front of the foil and blew that foil with a little bit of air just so that it could start moving in the way that we wanted to. What we found was too slow made it not move enough, and too much power just blasted the foil away. So having the control of the power on the back really allowed us to dial it in to move it exactly how we wanted to. And that gave us this really epic background in the shoot. I think it's pretty cool. The fact that you can do this wherever and even get that lighting onto a subject's face is really creative, and I think it's something that was really useful. Yes, you could probably have an assistant over there kind of waving the foil and moving it themselves, but the fact that as a solo creator like myself and Michelle, and we always have each other around, having this over there made life so much easier. So that's it. I will drop a link in the description below. I do want to say a massive thank you for checking out my OnlyFans. And yeah, wherever you are in the world, have a good day, good evening, good night, goodbye.